Hey there, Super Family. This is Super Chat 2023 semifinal. And tonight I'm happy to be joined by our first lovely group of Miss Supranational 2023 Super Chat semifinalists. Miss Supranational Brazil.
Hi.
Miss Supranational India.
Hello.
Miss Supranational Nicaragua.
Hi, everyone.
Miss Supranational Romania.
Hello.
Miss Supranational South Africa.
Hello.
Miss Supranational Canada.
Hi.
Miss Supranational Haiti.
Hi.
Miss Supranational Peru.
Hi, everyone.
Miss Supranational Philippines.
Hi.
Miss Supranational United Kingdom.
Hello.
In this episode, our semifinalists will have to answer 3 identical questions that our dear experts came up with, and we want to thank them for this. Today, we're going to have questions from Janelle Thongs, Kiki Sanchez, and Rina Hendricks. Thank you so very much for these brilliant questions. Before we start, let me just remind our audience that you can help your favorite semifinalists advance to the final episode of Super Chat by voting for them in the Miss Supranational app. Voting link beneath the video. Make sure you have the app and you have voted for your favorite. And also don't forget to subscribe to the Miss and Mr. Supranational official YouTube channel. Ladies, if you're ready, let's go. Miss Supranational Brazil, a question to you and the rest of the candidates from Janelle Thongs. Thank you, Janelle, for your question. Do you believe that candidates should be coached for pageants?
Thank you for the question, Ivan. I believe yes, because we need to get prepared for the beauty pageant. It's not just about beauty. And we have nice professionals that work with us. I have a nice team. I have a nice team of professionals that are working with me, and they taught me a lot of important things. And these things that I am learning right now, it's for my life. It's not just for the beauty pageant. Then, yes, I think we need learn things and we need coach. This is to make us grow.
Thank you very much for your answer. Brilliant. Miss Supranational India, here comes your question from Janelle Thongs. Janelle, thank you for this question again. Do you believe that candidates should be coached for pageants?
I think it's really necessary for candidates to be coached in terms of runway skills and just to, make them aware about the stage presence because it's something that has to be taught. But otherwise, I think all the contestants, especially in pageantry, it's all about who we are as a person. And that's what I believe in. It's a journey. The girl you come as in, or the candidate that you walk into the room and the candidate you'll be stepping out are two different people, and that's how beautiful this journey is, and it'll shape you into the person. So it is important to get trained before joining any pageants.
Thank you for your answer, Pragya. Question to Miss Supranational Nicaragua from Janelle Thongs. Do you believe that candidates should be coached for pageants?
Well, I think every candidate has the right to be coached because sometimes we do need some guidance in order to give a better improvement and to have the better answers and do the better development of whatever we're doing. But sometimes when you're being too coached, you start losing yourself and you start losing your identity and authenticity. Because if you memorize things or you start repeating what everybody else is telling you to do, that's when you start seeing a lot of queens that are basically the same. You have 5 queens that are basically the exact same. So I think it's great to have a coach, but on the proper amount.
Thank you very much for your answer. Hello, Miss Supranational Romania. Here's your first Super Chat 2023 semifinals question. And I want to thank Janelle Thongs for coming up with this brilliant question. Thank you, Janelle. Do you believe that candidates should be coached for pageants?
I think it's a great question. I was not coached for pageants. I think I was made for pageants because I love this. And when you have a passion and a love for something, you don't necessarily need to be coached. I don't think it's anything wrong with that because, of course, you have to be prepared for everything. But the natural thing that people see on stage, that cannot be rehearsed. It comes within you. So I think, yes. I think it's very personal.
Very true. Thank you for your answer. Miss Supranational South Africa, now it's your turn to answer your today's question from Janelle Thongs. Do you believe that candidates should be coached for pageants?
I believe that if you do something that's important to you, you always want to put in the best effort. And if that means gathering people from outside and using all the resources available to you, then yes, absolutely. I know personally, I enjoy the coaching that I've been getting from my creative director, the coaching I've been getting from the citizens of South Africa as well, because they have had a handful in making sure that what I do is successful. Coaching is a good thing, and coaching should be used to your advantage at any given moment outside of pageantry as well.
Thank you. Miss Supranational Canada, Alexa, question to you from Janelle Thongs. Do you believe that candidates should be coached for pageants?
I do believe that candidates should be coached for pageants because everyone needs that person there to notice things that they may not have noticed before. For me, that was a lot of the ways in which I walked or the ways in which I even moved my hands, little things that may not matter to you but matter to someone else. And getting that advice is very valuable. It is something that you cannot just seek on your own. You need others to really give you strength and to push you forward to your best self.
Wow, great answer. Thank you, Alexa. Merlin, Miss Supranational Haiti, question to you from Janelle Thongs. Do you believe that candidates should be coached for pageants?
I do believe that candidates should have an opportunity to be coached in pageantry. I think each pageant contestant, at their soul and in their heart, is a desire to show the world who they are, to brag and to be proud of their country, and to really develop certain skills that can only be developed through pageantry. I think with a coach, they're not only building you up personally, but they're also teaching you skills that you will use not only on stage, but throughout your lifetime. Through coaching, I've been able to build on my confidence, and I've also had the opportunity to really understand how people perceive me. And it's been something that's valuable to me throughout my life, not just in pageantry. So I absolutely believe that coaching should be allowed in pageantry.
Thank you, Marie. Miss Supranational Peru, Valeria, question from Janelle Thongs for you. Do you believe that candidates should be coached for pageants?
I think that coaching, it really helps motivating people and enhancing those abilities that someone has. So I don't think that it's wrong that someone coaches them. I do believe that you should be 100% yourself and true to yourself and authentic in order to achieve several goals that you have in life. But I think coaching, it really has a lot of beneficial things to people, so I don't see anything wrong with that.
Thank you. Miss Supranational Philippines, Pauline, question to you from Janelle Thongs. Do you believe that candidates should be coached for pageants?
I really think that all the candidates somehow can draw so much energy and knowledge from different mentors so that they themselves can find the best in themselves and then be able to bring that out on stage. I definitely think that getting all the help from so many different people and tapping into their own talents and knowledge is such an asset in the pageant industry.
Thank you for answering, Pauline. Emma, Miss Supranational United Kingdom, question to you from Janelle Thongs. Do you believe that candidates should be coached for pageants?
I definitely believe that the candidates should have the option as to whether they are coached or not, but I believe that these coaches need to have the experience required so that the candidates can be best prepared for the competition. I personally have competed in pageants where I have and haven't been coached, and I think I've definitely benefited from the times where I have been coached because it enables me to see different elements of myself that I wouldn't necessarily have picked up on had I not have the outsider's perspective. So I definitely think seeking another person's opinion, regardless of what you are doing in life, whether it's a pageant or anything, is really beneficial to you to learn more about yourself and improve yourself.
Great answer. Thank you, Emma. The Supranational Brazil Sankler, question to you from Kiki Sanchez. If you had the power to create a law for all countries, which law would it be?
Thank you, Ivan. Good question. Nice question. If I had this power, I would regulate something that I think is really important nowadays. In the world, women earn 32% less than men. We don't have the same rights. We don't have the same opportunities. then this is something that I would regulate in all the world.
Thank you.
Your question from Kiki Sanchez Pragna. If you had the power to create a law for all countries, which law would it be?
I think it should definitely be the, gender inclusivity and same-sex marriage. However, in some countries it is legal, but in some other countries it is yet to get legalized, because I do have a few friends who are, who's met the love of their life, but they're not married according to the law. And I think we all deserve to get married to the person we love, irrespective of sex, right? So that would be one law that I'd like to have for everyone in the world.
Great answer. Thank you, Pragna.
Miss Supranational Nicaragua, Catherine, here's your question from Kiki Sanchez. If you had the power to create a law for all countries, which law would it be?
I want all the countries to be allowed to cross borders. Because I've always thought this division of not being able to go to another country, even if you want to visit, you want to go around, even if you want to start in your life, that division to me has always been meaningless. Because I feel there's so many problems already on humanity, on our lives personally, that not being able to cross borders, it's like dividing us more. We should be united and we should be put together. And because the land, it's something of nature. We don't own the land. The land, it's everybody's. So that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Catherine, especially being a citizen of a country who needs a visa literally everywhere. Very true.
I know it's a mess. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to go there. You have to have this verification. It's meaningless.
Next up, to answer our second question today, is Miss Supranational Romania. The question comes from Kiki Sanchez. Thank you, Kiki. If you had the power to create a law for all countries, which law would it be?
That would be an educational law in schools. And starting from the little ones, the children in kindergarten, and I would introduce in the educational system hours like good manners. I think it's such a thing that we don't talk about as often as we should. And it doesn't matter from where you come, because in any part of the world, there are different manners, different cultures. And I think it's so important to be aware of everything and to be aware of how people expect us to behave in their habitat, in their environment once we are there. And the way you behave with someone, it's so important, because you will also think, how do I wish that other people will behave with me? So good manners should be in schools.
Well, thanks for your answer, Joanna.
Ayanda, Miss Supranational South Africa. Here comes our today's question from Kiki Sanchez to you. If you had the power to create a law for all countries, which law would it be?
It's a very interesting one, and I think it may be debatable in many places. But I honestly think that education should be something that is free. I know in my country there's a constant argument about whether that is possible or not, whether it's plausible or not. But education is something that we all need to step forward as a people. If we do not educate the younger people, then we are making poor leaders for the future, and it's a vicious and repetitive cycle of people that don't know where they are going forward. And so my one law for continents and countries around the world would be free education for all.
Very wise answer. Thank you, Ayanda.
Miss Supranational Canada, Alexa, question to you from Kiki Sanchez. If you had the power to create a law for all countries, which law would it be?
If I had this amazing, immense power to create any law for every country, I would say that the number one rule is that you must demonstrate compassion and empathy for others, because that, at the end of the day, is the biggest factor in how we treat others and how we grow in society. If we're able to look to our brothers and sisters from across the world and treat them with kindness and generosity, we're able to understand them better. and we can expect to be treated in the same way, which is important for how we develop and how we serve each other.
Wow, great answer. Thanks, Alexa. Ms. Supranational Haiti, Merle, question to you from Kiki Sanchez. If you had the power to create a law for all countries, which law would it be?
I think that it's so important that every individual have an opportunity to be heard. Unfortunately, that isn't always the case in every country. So if there was a law that I could pass in every single country, I would ensure that every individual had a right to be heard and had a right to take part in the political process, take part in deciding their lives, and take part in engaging with their communities. I think it's so important to give people a voice in this world and in this society. So if I could think of a law, it would be give everyone a voice and give everyone an opportunity to be heard.
Wow, great answer. Thank you, Merlin. Ms. Supranational Peru, your turn to answer today's question from Kiki Sanchez. If you had the power to create a law for all countries, which law would it be?
That's a really tough question because I think that there's a lot of things that are going in our world. We're living in a world full of challenges such as war and economic instability. So I think that if I had the power to create a law for every country, these two things that I mentioned has created a lot of massive migration too. So I would create a law for, I don't know, that enhances this another laws that people and migrations has, so they can live in a world full of possibilities and opportunities without discrimination. But of course, this needs to be supervised in order to we live in a nation full of harmony. So I think that everyone deserves a second chance. So I will, if I had the power to create a new law, probably it would be that one.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Ms. Supranational Philippines, Pauline, a question from Kiki Sanchez for you. If you had the power to create a law for all countries, which law would it be?
It would be a law where everyone would have access to healthcare, especially now with the pandemic almost reaching its close. I think all of us now realize how important equal healthcare is to everyone for us to be able to live our best lives and to make sure that healthcare also reaches everyone in every single corner of every community all over the world so that we can always live our best lives and give our best to others too.
Agree. Thank you, Pauline.
Ms. Supranational United Kingdom, Emma, question from Kiki Sanchez. If you had the power to create a law for all countries, which law would it be?
Well, my campaign, #DrawTheLine, is all about the prevention of violence against women. Currently, there are so many gaps in the system and legislation that unfortunately mean that punishments and or violence against women don't go punished. So I think I would create a law for all countries that mean that there are stricter punishments for those who enact violence, not just against women, but against everyone, because I think there really does need to be change in this area in order for there to be a positive impact in the world overall. I think that as individuals, we really do need to live by a motto of love and respecting those how we wish to be treated ourselves. And unfortunately, some people don't do that. So the law that I would create would be to ensure that everyone treats others with respect.
Wow, brilliant. Thank you, Emma. The Supranational Brazil question from Rena Hendricks. Thank you, Rena. What do you believe is the key to fostering, building strong and meaningful relationships with others?
Thank you for the question. There are a lot of important things to create a good relationship with others, but one important thing is to be honest and kind. We need to support each other. We need to support someone's project. We need to be kind. We are living in an increasingly intolerant world, and we really need to create relationships that makes us feel good. Someone who supports us, someone who is able to inspire us to grow. And this is really important nowadays, in my opinion.
Thank you very much for your answer.
Supranational India, here's your question from Arena Hendricks. What do you believe is the key to fostering strong and meaningful relationships with others?
Building strong and meaningful relationships with anybody around you takes a lot of honesty. I mean, any relationship is built, the pillars of any relationship is honesty and, commitment. You can't just leave in between or give up on people. And that's what I think the Indian culture and the Indian marriage actually teaches all of us, that committing to a person and dedicating your life and time is very crucial in any relationship.
Yeah, very true. Thanks for your answer, Pragya.
Miss Supranational Nicaragua, Catherine, your turn to answer the question from Rena Hendricks. What do you believe is the key to fostering strong and meaningful relationships with others?
Definitely, I would say to put yourself vulnerable. You don't have to be perfect to bond and to connect, because those bonds and connections really begins when you are on the lowest, because people relate to you and you became more real. So when you start putting yourself as if you were perfect, then you don't seem real because it's fake. Nobody's perfect. People tend to connect and to bond within your flaws and your vulnerability. So that's when I think you start to be more connected and caring and kind to other people when you're a real person.
Brilliant answer. Thank you, Catherine. Our today's semifinals question number 3 to you, Miss Supranational Romania. Ioana, what do you believe is the key to fostering strong and meaningful relationships with others?
That is trust. Of course, for me, it's trust, because if you are my friend, then it means that I will literally wake up from bed for you and come to your house or wherever you are to come and help you. Because it means that you trust me. You trust me with your life, with your secrets, with what you have in your soul. And so it's so important to think about others and about their needs as it they are our own, if we are friends and if we wish to establish a strong relationship for life.
Thank you very much, Joanna, and good luck on Super Chat.
Miss Supranational South Africa, and a question from Rena Hendricks to you. What do you believe is the key to fostering strong and meaningful relationships with others?
Relationships have to be tested. And I think a lot of the time when we hear the word tested, we are fearful of failure and where that may go. But when I say tested, I mean in the time that we spend together, planning how we are going to miss each other when we are away from each other. And that's just not in a romantic sense, but also in platonic relationships. It's like in school. You don't know what you've actually learned unless you've done a test that proves that you have learned enough to pass that test. And I know I use that in every relationship that I have in my life. I like putting things on the test to know that the person I have around me is there to support me, that I can trust them, and that they can expect the same from me as well.
Thank you.
Miss Supranational Canada, Alexa, Rena Hendricks wants to ask you, what do you believe is the key to fostering strong and meaningful relationships with others?
The key is listening. Oftentimes, we speak a lot, we communicate in that sense, but communication is a two-way street. And I've learned this over time where if I want to understand someone better, I really have to open my heart, but my ears especially, because when we open ourselves up to hearing what other people have to say, we're able to receive their ideas, not just provide our own. And we're able to think more critically about how we're interacting with this person, what needs do they have, so we can foster that as well. We can foster their growth with what we're able to provide.
Well, thank you. Merle, Miss Supranational HAITI, question to you from Marina Hendricks. What do you believe is the key to fostering strong and meaningful relationships with others?
That's such a great question. I think when we're engaging with other people, it's so important that we empathize with them. We all have a certain story, we all have a unique background. And when I'm building connections with people and trying to network, I really try to understand that person that's next to me. I really try to understand their background, where they're coming from. And it allows me not only to contribute to them personally, but to also help to build in our relationship. And so I think that empathy, being able to meet someone, speak to them, understand where they're coming from, feel what they feel, because I believe at the heart, human beings are people who feel deeply. That helps me to build and foster relationships, and I think that that's what's most important in building those relationships.
Thank you very much, Marlee. Miss Supranational Peru Valeria, question to you from Rena Hendricks. What do you believe is the key to fostering strong and meaningful relationships with others?
I think the key to foster meaningful relationships with others is, first of all, respect. I know it may sound cliche and a basic answer, but it's true. Respect is the base of everything. In order to have a world with harmony, you have to respect everyone else. But I think that tolerance too, you need to have that space of, like I said, respecting, but having the tolerance to understand people and the probably the things that they're going through, the challenges that they're facing, in order to have these meaningful connections. No, I think that tolerance, like I said, nowadays social media has made our world a lot faster, but with this, it has beneficial parts, but some other parts it made us really, we want everything for yesterday. So I think that tolerance is the key for a good relationship with everyone.
Thank you.
Pauline, Miss Supranational Philippines, question from Rena Hendricks. What do you believe is the key to fostering strong and meaningful relationships with others?
It would be understanding, I think, and compromise. We all come from different parts from of this world, and we come together in this pageant, and we ourselves have so many different stories that we bring on this stage. But as long as we have the willingness to listen to other people's stories and the willingness to understand where they themselves are coming from and perhaps find a certain common ground or compromise for us to be able to cohesively live together, then I think we'll be able to live a very beautiful life.
Very true. Thank you so much.
Emma, Miss Supranational United Kingdom, question from Rena Hendricks for you. What do you believe is the key to fostering strong and meaningful relationships with others?
I think the key to fostering strong and meaningful relationships with others is good communication and honesty. I think when we can speak to one another truthfully and with honesty, we can really enable that trust to grow and foster. And from here, we can really create really genuine, long-lasting relationships with one another where there is a mutual respect and understanding.
Thank you. Thank you for your brilliant answers. Before we wind this semifinal episode up, let me just once again remind our audience that you can help your favorite semifinalists advance to the final round of Super Chat Challenge by voting for them in the Miss Supranational app. The voting link is below the video. Make sure you have the Miss Supranational app and you have voted for your favorite. And don't forget to subscribe to the Miss and Mr. Supranational official YouTube channel. See you soon.